Hello people of YouTube, and welcome to the first video of what might become a series sometime in the future. Today we're going to be talking about that. Not the half-decaying bonsai tree over there, but what's behind it, my computer. Recently I've gotten more and more interested in watching techie computer related videos on YouTube, so I thought why not make one myself. So what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be showing you my computer. I'm gonna be animating some stuff around it, and hopefully it'll be somewhat entertaining and informative. Let's do this. This computer came to me pre-assembled about 3.5 years ago, so the tech that's in there might be a little bit outdated here and there, but I made some modifications over time that might be somewhat interesting to take a look at. So let's start with the case. All of my hardware is housed in this MS Tech Husky case. MS Tech is a company that I've never heard anyone else speak of, and their website looks a little bit shady and also is only available in German. So I'm guessing that MS Tech is a German computer company that delivers to small bits of the Dutch market as well, but I'm not entirely sure. And as I said, I've never heard anyone speak of this brand before, so not super reputable. That's gonna be a theme in this video. Then one of the most important components in any computer, the motherboard. In this case, a lower end ASRock motherboard. It is perfectly fine, it's doing its job, but it's not magnificent. Like, it's quite low on features, and the overclocking possibilities that this board provides are a bit limited. I think it has only like 3 power phases, something along those lines. So it's not great, but it's doing fine, it's functioning, and it's binding everything else in this case together very, very nicely. Then the processor in this computer, the heart of this machine, is an AMD FX 6100, a 6-core processor without hyperthreading and a stock clock speed of 3.3 GHz. I managed to overclock it to 3.7 GHz, which is not a super great increase, but it's a little bit, and it's the sort of the maximum that I can get out of this processor motherboard combination. And because I like overclocking, and because I like tinkering with the BIOS and stuff that's happening behind the scenes in the computer, the processor is cooled by an aftermarket air cooler. It's a Scythe Iori, and it gives me about a 5 to 10 degree advantage over the stock cooler that came with this AMD processor, which makes me quite happy. It's just always nice to have your temperatures down a little bit, and it's quieter as well, so only advantages to that one. Speaking of the stock AMD cooler, I still have the fan mounted in my case, but it's mounted on the back of my case, and it only kicks in when the processor is under heavy load. So I'm generating a little bit more airflow when temperatures rise, basically, which is quite nice. Then let's go on to the memory in this system, which is a measly 8 gigs of G.Skill DDR3 1333 megahertz RAM. I know it's not a lot, like it's barely enough to properly run the Adobe Creative Cloud, but it's manageable. Then the video card that came with this system is an HIS Radeon HD 7850. Now, HIS is, as far as I know, not a very reputable brand either, but it has been around since the late 1980s, so it has been around for quite a while in terms of computer companies. And it's doing its thing. It's definitely a really quite nice video card, and I'm really happy with it, even though it's a little bit outdated. My only slight complaint about it is that it only has 1 gig of VRAM, which is really not enough anymore for modern day video gaming. But other than that, it is perfectly fine. I also have a separate audio card in there, which is not a thing you'll see a lot in modern computers, but my dad bought one a few weeks ago and ended up not needing it for his own computer, so he gave it to me, and it's really made a big difference because the onboard audio of my cheapo ASRock motherboard that's in there is not great, and this PCI audio card is really making quite a difference. It's really just cleaned up my audio. It's a UENT or EWENT, or however you pronounce that, EWENT. It's just nice to have. It made my audio a lot cleaner. Storage, hard drives and all that sort of fun stuff. My main boot drive is a 240 gig SSD, again from a not very reputable brand, And my secondary drive is the 500 gigabyte hard drive that came with this build. So the SSD has been an upgrade I've done a few years ago, just to make booting and the running of my most used programs significantly faster. I also have a DVD drive, but I can't really say a lot about that. It's just a DVD drive. It's nice to have. It's nice that it's there for like my old video games like Zoo Tycoon 2, and I even bought Far Cry 3 on DVD. That was the very last thing I ever bought on DVD before I switched to Steam. It's just nice that it's there, but it's sort of a bland thing, you know? DVD drive. And then the very last thing, the thing that is powering my computer, the PSU, the power supply. Now, recently I have learned that power supplies are a lot nicer when they are from reputable brands, which mine is not. In fact, I'm not even sure that it is from a brand because it just says 750 watts, which sounds like a lot, but since it's a very non-expensive, non-branded thing, it's probably not very honest about what actual wattage it delivers, and it might not be very reliable. It's also quite loud, which is annoying. So that one is definitely one of the first components that will be upgraded before I start upgrading motherboards, the CPU, the RAM, and that sort of fun stuff. I just want a solid power supply as a base for future upgrades. So that's going to be one of the first things. Speaking of upgrading my computer, I said that this video might turn into a series at some point. I want to make more of these videos as like my computer evolves into something nicer and bigger over the coming year or two. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm definitely gonna keep this running as a series. But let me know if you also want to see a video of my peripherals, so like my keyboard or my mouse or, you know, monitors, that sort of thing, speakers, headphones. If you want to see a video of that as well. Thank you very much for watching. Again, let me know if you want to see a video about my peripherals as well. And I will see you next time. Ciao!